The Kentucky Book Fair, Legacy Trail amenities, and the annual Fire Prevention Festival. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of September 24th, 2018. The annual Kentucky Book Fair has been expanded into the Kentucky Book Festival. City officials were joined by leaders from the Kentucky Humanities Council for the announcement.
Well, we're sort of the Kentucky Humanities Council engine that could. And the analogy is that the book fair in Frankfurt for over 30 years, now 37 years, and we're expanding the book festival, the book fair, to a book festival from 2 days to 6 days. And a lot of that is going to take place here in downtown Lexington. We're very pleased that we've gotten support from a number of people. We've always thought that it was something that we wanted to do. So this year in November, from the 12th through the 17th, we'll be going to a full 6-day book festival. We'll be located out at the Kentucky Horse Park at the Alltech Arena. And we wanted to announce that for the first time today. And Mayor, we have always appreciated your support and the council's support in bringing that book fair, now festival, from Frankfurt to Lexington. And we thank you for being here this morning.
I love describing Lexington as the literary capital of mid-America. Neil Chaddick at the Carnegie Center describes it that he sort of coined that phrase a few years ago, and ever since I felt like it was just perfect. We are so excited to see this 37-year tradition, the Kentucky Book Fair, grow into this full week, a fun-centered week around good food and good conversation, a little libation, of course, perhaps, and good books. The brand new Kentucky Book Festival will have something for everyone. Turning the fair into a full-blown festival takes a lot of effort, and something of this significance, this magnitude, is managed so well by the Kentucky Humanities. Lexington has a rich literary heritage. The Carnegie Center for Literacy and Learning, just up the street, the center's Kentucky Great Writers Series, and its many other literary programs are just what the Kentucky Book Fair and now the Kentucky Book Festival are all about. So it's a great opportunity for everyone, those of us citizens right here at home in Lexington and all across the entire state. Come to Lexington for this festival. Thank you all.
This week is going to be chock full of fun events and fabulous authors. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what's going on this week and then direct you to our website, kyhumanities.org, for a full schedule, ticket information, etc. We'll begin on the evening of Monday, November 12th, with new Kentucky poetry and prose, with 4 Kentucky authors reading from their works at the Carnegie Center. On Tuesday, November 13th, we'll host our ticketed literary luncheon with Silas House, author of the best-selling book Southernmost, at Arts Place. And then later that evening, we'll host Truth or Dare Ya with 5 Kentucky YA authors at the University of Kentucky. Wednesday night, November 14th, author and food personality Tim Laird and Chef Dave Danielson will discuss their new book at Azure, where Chef Jeremy Ashby and his team will be serving appetizers and cocktail samplers from the book. On Thursday evening, KET's Renee Shaw will moderate a happy hour discussion with Beck Dory Stein, author of From the Corner of the Oval, at the Main on Main. Later that evening, we'll host Books and Brews Trivia at the West 6 Brewing Barrel Room. Friday morning, Commerce Lexington will host a spotlight breakfast featuring Kentucky Book Festival author Cal Turner Jr. in discussion with Carla Blanton on his new book. Finally, on Saturday, November 17th, the 37th Annual Kentucky Book Fair will be back at the Kentucky Horse Park Alltech Arena from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. With more than 180 authors in attendance and 18 author presentations, the fair is a day you don't want to miss. Headliners for this year's fair include Wendell Berry, H.W. Brands, Rita Mae Brown, Artis Gilmore, Robert Sabuda, and Sarah Smarsh. Additionally, our programming for students will be happening all week long across Kentucky as 6 Kentucky Book Festival authors make visits to 11 elementary and middle schools across the state. Each student at these schools will receive a free copy of the visiting author's book to be signed and taken home with them. And of course, for our high school students, we'll have our master class with Dr. Jonathan Kullick, who will be speaking on rhetoric and persuasive speech, followed by lunch and an insightful program with Dr. Keen Babbage and UK Student Ambassador Jawan Page. Let me again encourage all of you to head to our website, kyhumanities.org, for much more detail, information on tickets, ways for you to plan your entire week around the Kentucky Book Festival, and we do hope you will join us. Thank you.
For more information, visit kyhumanities.org. The Legacy Trail continues to evolve and improve, and now a new rest area has been added.
It is great to be on the Legacy Trail, and soon, not too long away, just a couple years or so, this will be part of 22 miles of uninterrupted trails in our city. The Town Branch Commons through the center of the city will connect the Legacy Trail and the Town Branch Trail, and that will give us 22 miles. And today we are here to talk about the new conveniences that we see here. This is a place for cyclists and walkers to stop and take a break. When we were designing this project, and I was in a lot of conversations with Charlie Martin, I said, you know, Charlie, we're going to have this pretty much enormous storage tank, and maybe we can do something with it besides just the tank. Multi-million-dollar investment, but by putting the landscaping here, by placing this really remarkable landscaping and these features here, we've been able to add to just the storage tank.
It's a quite impressive structure we're standing here next to us. That's over 60 feet tall, and it's about 200 feet in diameter, which is more than half of a football field. I went inside it when they were building it, and it was amazing just to how massive it was. It holds 11 million gallons of water when it's full. Right now it's holding about 4 feet of water in there. I don't remember what the calculation was for that. But the way it works basically is that when it rains, excess water gets into the sewer system and it overwhelms the pump station that's located behind the facility. When that pump station gets overwhelmed, telemetry or electronics divert the flow over to a different pump station that starts filling the tank. And so while it's raining and too much flow is coming to the pump station, it all gets diverted to the tank. And then once the rainstorm goes away, that same telemetry or electronics communicates back to the tank and then empties it. So a couple of weekends ago, Tropical Storm Gordon came through Kentucky. Basically, we had a long weekend of rain. We had 5 million gallons of dilute sewage stored in this tank that weekend. Before this tank was here, there was 5 million gallons of sewage that would have gone into the environment. So this is doing exactly what we intended it to do, is be able to protect the environment, protect the downstream Royal Springs aquifer, and even more importantly is our neighbors, Georgetown, their water supply, which is where they draw a lot of their water. So this is one of 3 tanks that we have in service right now. We're constructing 3 more tanks in other parts of the community, and ultimately there will be 10 of them located at various locations. This one in particular I was worried about, and as the mayor said, we've talked about this numerous times. The size and proximity to the trail and to the interstate was a real concern with mine. I joked with people I didn't want to have another Florence Y'all sitting out here in Coldstream. So basically we got a lot of different people together, stakeholders, both the technical staff and stakeholders, to try to come up with some ideas on how we can make this necessary infrastructure be something more than it can be. Folks from HDR engineers, element design, landscape architectures were the technical staff, UK Coldstream, Legacy Trail, the bike community, the Lexington Convention Center or Convention and Visitors Bureau, the arts community. A lot of different people participated in making this come to what it is today. A lot of great ideas, but the common theme is that the trail needed a rest area, that they needed some type of restroom, a place you could get off your bike, fill your water bottle, take a break, and get some shade. So that's what you're seeing here right now. As you see the restroom behind me, you see all the landscaping and amenities. Hopefully that over time, through future generations, this will become more of a grove of trees than what you see right now a year later after construction has ended. I was in Boston around about the time that we were developing the concepts for this, and was in a park in the Copley Square area, and I thought about that as a grove of trees. That would be a great legacy in order to be able to leave to the folks that are going to take over for us. Mixing urban infrastructure in with a natural environment is a real challenge, but one that we try to overcome all the time. Which leads me into the other project that I was going to talk about, which is the stream restoration that's off to my right. Basically, this stream restoration was part of our consent decree with US EPA and the state. It was required as part of the settlement for that consent decree, but it was really conceived by staff. Basically, a former staff member, late David Gabbard, along with Susan Pluger and now Jennifer Carey, they worked very hard on bringing that project together along with CDP engineers. So what it does is basically treats urban stormwater runoff through bioswales, wetlands, all these type of things, right next to the Legacy Trail, to where people can get in touch with the environment in a very positive and educational manner and benefit on the future for that. So, like I said, I'm really pleased to be here today because we've had two major infrastructure projects intended towards helping water quality, but when they become a community amenity along the way, I think that's really a great thing.
For more on the Legacy Trail and other parks amenities, visit lexingtonky.gov. The Fire Prevention Festival is this weekend, and we'll tell you all about it after the break.
Come join us for Little Goblins Galore on Saturday, October the 13th at McConnell Springs from 1 to 5 p.m. We will have a petting zoo, a friendly haunted house, lots of performances, and a really great character trail. Admission is $6 per child, and there'll be lots of other fun surprises for you. My friends and I hope to see you there.
I'm Sergeant Randall Combs with the Lexington Police Traffic Unit. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here, even if you have an accessible parking permit.
Access aisles are necessary for me to get into my vehicle. They are there because many of us need that space to use our ramps or to transfer into a wheelchair. It's frustrating when a car is parked in the access aisle because I don't have room to get into my van.
Police and Lex Park are writing tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you, and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Lexington's ever-popular Fire Prevention and Wellness Festival is this weekend. Here's what you need to know if you want to go.
I'm firefighter Todd Holman with the Lexington Fire Department. I'm assigned in the Community Risk Reduction, Community Service, and Fire Prevention Office. Sunday, September 30th at Masterson Station Park, we'll be having our annual Fire Prevention Wellness Festival. This is our third year that we're having it at Masterson Station Park. We've moved out there to allow for a little more activities that we couldn't do downtown. We have a live fire burn demo. We'll be cutting cars up, the fire truck rides, and our touch a truck will include helicopters and things that we couldn't do traditionally downtown. It's fire prevention, but it's also wellness. We'll have balance and hearing screenings, vision screenings, blood pressure checks, and some other things that are good for people for their wellness. It's a free family event. We do have some corporate sponsors, and we'll have some other options besides our traditional food that we'll have out there. We'll also, to supplement that, we'll have Red State Barbecue. We'll have Kona Ice out there. Pepsi's going to be out there. Better Bites for some nutritional options. So there's something there for everybody, and I think everybody's going to have a great time. There's no really right age group. There's a bike rodeo for kids. There's face painting and clowns and balloons and bounce houses, and then there's for the older kids, they can learn CPR, they can learn escape planning. There's a lot of different opportunities, and we start this fire education or fire prevention and the wellness stuff early on in kindergarten and work all the way up through school. So this kind of supplements everything we're doing. So it's a free family event, and it's great for all age ranges, young and old. We just want everybody to come out and have a good time, learn something. It's a great thing that we can give back to the community and show them that there's a little more that we do. We offer, in the proactive side of the fire service, we offer the fire prevention, the wellness, and giving back to this community. So the Fire Prevention Festival will be Sunday, September 30th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Masterson Station Park. It's a free family event. We hope to see everyone out there. For more information, you can visit our Facebook page, the Lexington Fire Department's Facebook page, or you can visit the city's website for upcoming events. In our office in the Fire Prevention Bureau, we also do some other programs for the community. One of the programs that we offer twice a year is our Citizens Fire Academy. It's a 10-week program that we run. You get an up-close look at what we do. We feed you at the Fire Academy, and we also, you get some hands-on as close or as far away as you want to see some of the things we do. You'll get signed gear, cut up cars, go into live fire with gear. It's a fun time. You'll learn CPR, bleeding control, and our office runs that twice a year. In fact, a lot of the volunteers that we'll have for the festival this year come from the Citizens Fire Academy Alumni Association. If you'd like to be a part of any of the things that we offer in the Fire Prevention Office and the Community Risk Reduction, you can contact us at 859-231-5662, or you can email us lfd-communityservices@lexingtonky.gov.
For more information on the fire department and fire safety, visit our website, lexingtonky.gov. The city's annual tire disposal event is right around the corner, and if you've got some old tires to get rid of, Lauren Monahan tells us how to do it.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I work with Lexington's Division of Waste Management. It's hard to believe that fall is already upon us, but here in the Bluegrass region of Kentucky, Kentucky's Division of Waste Management is hosting a tire collection event. This event does not happen every year, so we want to make sure to bring you this information so you can participate this fall. Our event is sponsored through the Kentucky Division of Waste Management and will occur on November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 2018. This event will allow residents as well as some businesses in Fayette County to bring tires such as semi, tractor, passenger vehicle, bicycle, ATV, and other tires to this event, free of charge. The last tire collection event that the City of Lexington worked with the state on was in 2015, and we collected over 40,000 tires at this event. The great thing about this is that all of these tires are recycled into new products such as tennis shoes, car parts, and even rubber bumpers in parking lots. We will be operating this event on November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday. The hours of the event will be 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, November 1st and 2nd. On Saturday, we'll run the event from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. And the event will be on the Waste Management Training Pad located at 1631 Old Frankfort Pike. So we hope that you can participate in this event. We do want to note that the state prohibits tire retailers as well as scrap metal dealers from participating in this event. The state and the City of Lexington would also like to note some tires that will not be accepted at the event, including large off-the-rim or off-road tires, tracks, sheet rubber, solid calcium or otherwise filled tires, and any tires with a bead greater than 1 3/4 inch. For those that may have over 100 tires built up that they'd like to bring to this event to dispose of, we do ask that you bring someone to help you, although Fayette County will provide a few staff members to help you unload that day as well. The great thing about this program is that if you can't make it to Fayette County's event on November 1st through 3rd, you can call LexCall 311 at 859-425-2255 to find out other county events happening during the fall season. The state allows residents of any county in Kentucky to attend any of the events that they're holding. So please call LexCall to receive a calendar of events that you can also attend if you're not able to make it to our event. We do hope you're able to join us though, and for more information, you can visit our website, www.lexingtonky.gov/livegreen, or call LexCall at 311 or 425-2255.
If you're a dog owner, carrying around bags to clean up after your pet is likely your least favorite part of taking Fido out for a daily walk, especially after he's taken care of business. Now the whole affair has gotten a little less unpleasant for residents at the Tracery Apartments, thanks to new pet waste stations.
I'm Jennifer Myatt with Lexington's Division of Environmental Services. You might not know this, but Lexington has over 78,000 dogs in our city limits. You might have a dog, your neighbors might have a dog. I'm sure you know plenty of people with pets. And one thing that pets have that we have to take care of is their pet waste. When you take your dog outside, we encourage you, whether you're in your yard or on a walk or in a park, to be responsible and pick up after your pet waste. Lexington has 7 urban watersheds, and out of those, all of them have some level of pollution due to pet waste in the water, such as diseases and bacteria like E. coli. So we need to make sure we're picking up after our pets, because whatever is on the ground when it rains ends up in our water and in our streams and eventually in the Kentucky River, where many of us like to enjoy fishing and boating and all of that kind of fun things. So it's very important to pick up after your pets. In order to make it easier for pet owners to pick up after their pets, we are working with Bluegrass Green Source and various apartment complexes throughout town to install pet waste stations so that the residents have an easy, convenient spot to dispose of their dog waste when they're outdoors. I'm out at the Tracery, and you can see one of their pet waste stations behind me, and we're going to talk to Maggie Cannon, who's going to talk about how installing the pet waste stations went for them.
The Tracery was having several problems with the amount of pet waste on the property that was not being picked up by the owners. We had received several complaints by dog owners and non-pet owners. So when we received those complaints, and also by picking up grounds with our maintenance guys, we realized pet waste was a serious problem. You would step right next to it no matter where you were. So we, at that point, decided we needed to do something about it. Participating was very interesting. We never really realized how bad the issue was on our property until the pet waste had been collected and the numbers were brought to our office. So the experience on our part was very easy. We were given the stations and then told to set them up after the initial pet waste was collected, and at that point we installed the stations, and from there we had a lot of progress. When we first started the process, we had collected over 140 piles of pet waste. Now that the new pet stations are in, we've reduced that by 80%, and now it's very slim that we find pet waste on the property. I've had several residents contact my office thanking me for the work we've done, because now their kids are able to go out in the grass area and play without having to worry about if they're going to step in anything and trail that back into their apartment. And on the property, I've noticed several pet owners that now carry the pet waste bags with them as they're walking their dogs, and they're picking up after them as well.
Just a friendly reminder to please pick up after your pets when you are out, either on walks, in parks, and even in your yard, because pet waste, when it rains, is washed into our storm drains and into our creeks and can cause water pollution. So please be responsible and pick up after your pet.
There are several meetings on our televised slate this week, including the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee meeting and the Council work session, both on Tuesday. Wednesday's Board of Architectural Review, and the Planning Commission, followed by the regular council meeting on Thursday. As always, these will be live on channel 185 and on our live stream, and you can find any televised meeting archived at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV, or find our other programming here or on YouTube channel LexTV. That's all for this week. Keep up with us on social media and check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at LexTV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.